Welcome to Sweet Six Living. We're here, and thank you for joining us. We're here to share our unconventional bohemian lifestyle with you.
We're full-time musicians, and we live off-grid.
And we're chicken farmers living in Mexico.
Super crazy, but we're here to share all this with you. But
and today, we're going to talk about the other part, which is we are carnivores. And then we just got back, as she mentioned, from a 16-day tour.
Yeah, our Por El Amor de Baja tour. It was so successful. It was a food drive. We helped each community that we went in.
Raised a bunch of food.
And for our nonprofit, Blues Against Hunger. So it was
really
super
good.
fun. We had a
But
great
before
time.
we talk about any of that, we want to talk about the roadblocks of eating while you're traveling. For me in particular, I would say that the difficulties on being on the road as a musician is usually our meals come with our performance or our show. It's usually part of the setup. And
it's choices.
It's those other things that you couldn't get otherwise, that you're just not accustomed to having, or they're unavailable. In our case, you know, all of a sudden now we have this, and they're giving it to us complimentary.
That you're tempted with things that you normally don't eat. Mm-hmm. So when you're not at home and you're not in your structure of your normal eating, you're tempted with things that could be desserts. It could be beer battered fish. It could be the beer that's available. Craft beer was available.
Is always
irregular times of us eating, so our eating schedule was not the same.
So eating out is something that you need to avoid as much as possible, and it's even easier. I mean, when you're on vacation, for instance, and you're traveling around the U.S. When we do tours in the U.S., it's extremely easy because you have so much convenient food that is unhealthy food at
easy, cheap, and
drive-thrus at every single on-ramp, exit. It's everywhere.
So some of the things that you can do if you're not a musician, but you're just traveling and you're on vacation. What are some of the things that you can do so that way you would be able to eat well as a carnivore on the road?
You can always plan ahead, because planning ahead actually will make life so much better. And she's a Virgo, so she does it more than most people do.
Most people?
I'm the most people.
Yeah, exactly. Planning ahead, and for us, the easiest boiled eggs. That's one of our favorite snacks is boiled eggs. We have them in the fridge, so when we were going on tour, it was a perfect thing. Throw it into the ice chest, and we had other items, like we had our sardines, and we had what we call bagged meat, which was great.
The bagged meat is delicious, and it just has literally the meat and salt, and I think that was
spices.
And some spices.
And it's super good.
Oh man, it is delicious. And you can eat it cold, you eat it with eggs, you can eat it any way you like. You eat right out of the bag. When we walked the entire Baja Peninsula, we used to warm those up by putting them on the asphalt or on a rock.
While we waited.
And let the sun heat them up, and they were delicious.
And they were great. The best tips is just figure out what you're doing and what it is that you would like to take with you. Just pack a lunch. And then, as we said, is research the area that you're going to be in. The restaurants, local markets. We always usually look for the local markets so that we can then get some of those items that we like to eat while we're on the road instead of packing it and taking it with us. Yeah, we thought it would be cool to have corned beef, and the corned beef ended up being like $15.
Yes, for a little tiny can.
We were like,
no.
So what does she have?
She's got another rat or a mouse in her pup mouth. Our cat just ran across the street with a mouse. Anyways, speaking of carnivore snacks, you can always get the little pieces of bacon, which are not just the strips, but bits and pieces that they sell, and just little chunks of ham, this and that, and fry all that up, and just get it, and then let it dry a little
that's
bit.
great, just like jerky.
And just like jerky, and just.
But it's so good, crispy bacon bits while you're traveling.
Yeah, big chunky
yummy.
ones. Even mix it in with some chicharrones, which is
is also a very good snack that you can get almost anywhere in Mexico, and it's starting to show up more and more throughout the U.S. as well.
For sure.
Active, so staying active even while you're traveling.
It's important because that will help you keep that routine, and by keeping your routine, it'll help you to do the same things or try to repeat the same things in your eating habits and what you eat. And,
that you do
because
at home.
it'll just keep you full. Because eating, exercising, and the things that we do, the building, creating, making, and all the things that we do in a daily routine every single day, if we can keep those together
while you travel
and keep that same flow, it's important. So keep your exercise. Don't let it, because once you stop exercising, everything else starts to get easier
to not do.
Yes,
or to fall off the wagon.
Exactly. It's important to not be upset when you have those indulgence, that indulgence once in a while.
Don't beat yourself up to the point that you put yourself in a bad mood. Say, you know what? Yes, you're right. Today we fell off the wagon. Tomorrow we'll do better. We're gonna fast for the day because we were extravagant in our eating yesterday. So you just you make your adjustments and you move through where you are.
What's funny is that reminds me.
What's that?
When back 30 years ago when I was in my 20s and I was exercising and I was into powerlifting and I loved it. And I was and protein was the thing, man. I needed to get all the protein I wanted, but I was always also low fat. It was crazy thinking back then. But the thing that I also remember is that if I fell off the wagon and I had an ice cream, I don't eat ice cream anymore, but back in the day, if I had an ice cream or I did something crazy back in those days, I remember, oh, that's okay. I'll just go to the gym and I'll do. I'll get on the treadmill.
I'll do extra cardio.
Yeah, I'll do extra cardio, and I'll lift a little more, and I'll just spend more time in the gym. And you know what though, it never worked. It never really, it didn't work. So, and I tell you what, doing the fasting with whatever you do really does work. So, but there are some similarities. But that just reminds me of that.
Exactly.
You got to find some balance in life.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's one of the biggest hurdles I think everyone's doing is trying to find that balance and enjoy where you are and what you're doing.
It is not easy to stay on a carnivore diet while you're on the road. And in our tour, which was 16 days raising food for other folks, we did really well.
Yeah, we had lucky 13 shows. We had a good time. We ate. We paid attention. We were mindful.
Yeah, I don't think we really cheated too much.
Alcohol probably was the biggest cheat, I think, for us.
And then we shared some battered yellowtail fish in Todos Santos, which was unbelievably good. So. But other than that, we did. I thought I was pretty proud of ourselves. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, we came home, didn't gain any weight.
I did not even budge 1 single pound. It was incredible. Yeah, so I am still right there. I'm still over 108 pounds total loss since I started, which I'm really proud of. So, share your experiences. How do you stay on? Do you travel much? And if you do, tell us.
Where are you traveling, and what are your tips when you are traveling?
Yeah, how do you stay on?
Oh, and actually, check down below. We'll give you our link of our tour schedule. So, if you want to see if we're going to be in your city or not, all you need to do is just check that link down below and see where we are.
Stay happy, stay healthy, stay carnivore, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.